Is your set for your father-in-law tonight and tomorrow? Your father-in-law, right? So you do have your set for your father.
My father.
Judy's father, Dr. Morris Shapiro, is in the evening service.
Right. So you daven Ma'ariv on occasion, right?
On occasion.
Okay. Well, maybe tonight can be another occasion.
Okay.
So that would be good. And before we start, we have really a wonderful treat from Richard Silberg, who will introduce his offering to our Minyan. Richard, we're yours, sir.
6 o'clock.
מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד.
Richard, would you tell us what this is that you sang so beautifully for us?
It's a piece that I wrote that didn't get past the choir director's, whatever you call it, standards. But I like it.
Beautiful.
And
thank you. And it's in honor of your father, I think?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, on this Yom HaAtzmaut that we observe so beautifully, we come together in sacred fellowship. And I'm going to ask Barry to lead us in the Mincha service on page 164. And I hope you're all inspired and moved by the fact that we are celebrating 73 years of one of the greatest gifts that the Jewish people could have. And that the ideals of Judaism will be a gift to all of mankind, as we hope. And a song at a time. And thank you, Richard, again. Page 164, Barry, if you would, sir.
Sure. Ashrei Ashrei Veitecha Odi Hallelujah Selah.
Sandy, would you correspond, please? Chazan is
Tehillah LeDavid Aramim Chal Hai HaMelech V'Avarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed.
volume. Sandy? Oh, sorry. Okay. Page 164.
B'chol yom avarchecha v'ala shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai Hu Lamed V'Ligdulato Ein Cheker.
Dor l'dor yishabach ma'asecha gvurotecha yagidu.
Hadar Kavod Hodecha V'Divrei Niflotecha Asicha.
Ezuz neretecha yomeru gdulatcha saprena.
Zecharav Tuvcha Yabiu V'Tzidkatcha Yiranenu.
Hanun barachim Adonai erech hapayim migdol chesed.
Tov Adonai Lakol V'Rachamav Al Kol Ma'asav.
Yoduch Adonai kol ma'asecha v'chasidecha yivarchucha.
Kavod Malchutcha Yomeru Gvuratcha Yadaberu.
Hodia livnei hadam gvurotav v'chvod hadar malchuto.
Malchutcha Malchut Kol Olamim Umemshaltecha Bechol Dor Vador.
Somech Adonai l'chol hanoflim v'zokef l'chol hakfufim.
Einecho Elecha Yisaberu V'Atanotin Lahem Et Ochlam B'Ito.
Hoteach et yadecha maspia l'chol charatzon.
Tzadik Adonai Bechol Doracha V'Chasid Bechol Ma'asav.
Karov Adonai l'chol karov l'chol asher yikra'u v'emet.
Ritzon Yirei Aviyam v'et shavatam yishma v'yoshiem.
Shomer Adonai kol ohav ve'et kol harshaim yashmid.
Tehilat Adonai yadaber pi v'yivarecha basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed.
Anachnu nevarech yamei ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah.
V'anachnu nevarech yamei ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah.
We rise, page 166, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalmad yirachirute v'yamlich malchute b'chaychon v'mechon v'chayelcho be'Yisrael b'agalav yizban kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei olamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnasei. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei l'kudusha b'richu. Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiran b'alma v'imru. Amen.
The Amidah begins on the inside back cover. We return to 168 through the Kedusha. And please remember, because it's Yom HaAtzmaut, to add the paragraph that is in the Amidah page. Find it. It is on page 170, 180, 182. 182 in the middle of the page, indented on Israel's Independence Day. Barry?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Karnei HaKol V'zocher chastei avot umevi goel livnei v'neihem leman shemo b'ahava melech ozer ufoked umoshia umagen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ufoked Sarah atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayim eitim atah rav lehoshia mechalkel chayim b'chesed mechayim eitim b'rachamim rabim Somech noflim v'rofei cholim u'matir asurim u'mekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha bal gevurot u'mido melach melech meimid u'mchayem atzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lachayot meitim Baruch ata Adonai mechayei hametim.
170. מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, הכתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה לזה ואמר.
נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, כך כתוב על יד נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, ולכל הארץ קודם אתם מלכים נערו.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו, לעומתם ברוך יאמרו.
וכבוד אדוני ממקומו, דברי קודשך כתוב לאמור.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ודברי קודשך כתוב לאמור.
מלוך אדוני לעולם, מלך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה.
מלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. כי יהיה המלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Continue page 172. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל מלחמות שעשית על אבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. בימי שיבת בנים לגבולם בעת תקומת העם בארצו. Please continue at your own pace. Barry is going to pick up on Kaddish Shalem on page 194.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
מה דירכתי והמלכמחותי בחייכון ובמייכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדושה בריחו. Nelamin koverchata v'shirata tushpachata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Titkabel tzlot hon avot hon d'chol Yisrael kadama v'hon divishmaya v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Aleinu 196.
Aleinu v'shabeach l'adon hakol l'atei gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo samcha kenu kahem v'goraleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shoret hashamayim yosef ha'aretz. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom hahu Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
We recall with love those who gave us life and those who lived with us, whose yahrzeit is the 3rd of Iyar, Thursday, April 15th, this year's Yom Ha'atzmaut 2021. The following names are inscribed in our hearts and our souls and are listed in the perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno. Molly Goldstone, Helen Greenberg, Louis H. Hellman, Bessie Janet, Herbert Kaplan, Gladys Parson, Thelma Plain, Hyman J. Rosenstock, Frank J. Rubenstein, Lillian Esther Schwartz, Ruth Krantz Steinberg, Selma Taylor, and we also recall Robert Henry Silberg and Ted Miller, I believe. And who did I miss, Jeffrey? Okay. Yortzeit and Mourners Kaddish, page 198. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari ve'mo amen, yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'le'olmei maya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה ואמירם בעלמה ועמו אמן יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. It's indeed a pleasure and a privilege to have our Chazan, Joe Lichterman, come back and be with us. Chazan, is there a special, wonderful reason tonight that we're privileged?
My brother and I share our grandfather's yortzeit that we say Kaddish for, even though we didn't know him, but we know when he passed away. And the Matzevah still stands in Warsaw. So this is it coming in tonight, day after Yom Ha'atzmaut.
Did he die during the Shoah?
No. He died before the Shoah.
I see. And could I ask you, Chazan, to read for us, perhaps chant for us, the Al HaNisim that we have for Yom Ha'atzmaut on page 182 in the Hebrew, and then recite to us in that extraordinary English that you possess, the translation. We are on page 182 in the middle of the page.
Al HaNisim ve'al HaPurkan ve'al HaGburot ve'al HaTeshuot ve'al HaMilchamot she'asita la'avotinu b'yamim hahem u'b'hazman hazeh b'mei shivat banim legulam beit tukumat am yarto kimei kedem nizkuru sha'arei eretz chabot b'fnei achenu pelitei cherev ve'oyevim ba'aretz V'shiva'a amamim ba'alei beritam kamu lachritam ha Yisrael ve'ata b'rachamecha harabim amadet halahem be'yetzaratam rata et rivam danta dinam chizakta et libam lamod b'sha'ar v'lifetoach sharim lanir dafim ולגרש את צבאות האויב מן הארץ, מסרת רבים ביד מעטים, ורשעים ביד צדיקים. לך עשית שם גדול וקדוש בעולמך, ולעמך ישראל עשית תשועה גדולה ופורקן כהיום הזה. We thank you for the miraculous deliverance, for the heroism, and for the triumphs in battle of our ancestors in other days and in our time. In the days when your children were returning to their borders at the time of a people revived in its land as in days of old, the gates to the lands of our ancestors were closed before those who were fleeing the sword. When enemies from within the land, together with 7 neighboring nations, sought to annihilate your people, you, in your great mercy, stood by them in time of trouble. You defended them and vindicated them. You gave them the courage to meet their foes, to open the gates to those seeking refuge, and to free the land of its armed invaders. You delivered the many into the hands of the few, the guilty into the hands of the innocent. You have wrought great victories and miraculous deliverances for your people Israel to this day, revealing your glory and your holiness to all the world.
Thank you, Chazan. We're indeed
Thank you.
inspired and indebted. Quick question. What did your grandfather do in Poland?
What he did in Poland is actually they had a bookbinding business.
I see.
Sfarim. Well, not only Sfarim, but everything.
Right, of course. Well, we could easily hear so much more. But we rise, page 200, and we're going to ask the good doctor to lead us in the Arvit service, page 200.
V'hurachum yekaperabo v'lo yashid, v'herbala hashiva po v'lo ya'ir kol hama'ato, Adonai Hashia, HaMelech ya'anenu b'yom korenu, Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach li'olam va'ed.
Be seated, page 200.
El Hai B'Kayam Tamid Yamok Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai
Shemo.
Ariv Aravi Adonai B'K Yisrael. V'Avatacha Al Tasir Mimenu Le'olamim Baruch Ata Adonai
Shemo.
Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol miyotecha, v'hayu advarim ha'eleh, Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha V'shinantam Levanecha V'dibar Tabam V'shivtecha B'veitecha Uvlektecha B'derek Ushakbaha Uvekumecha Ushatam Leot Al Yadecha V'hayu Letotafod B'neinecha Uktabtam Amazuzot Beitecha Uvisharecha.
Page 202.
Tishmahu el mitzvotai. Leman yirbu yemechem v'mei v'nechem Al ha'adama asher nishba Adonai avotechem latet lachem kimei hashamayim al haaretz vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber o bnei Yisrael v'yamata alehem v'yasu lachem tzitzit al kanfei b'reihem ledorotam v'nadnu al tzitzit al kanaf tehil tehelet v'hayalachem letzitzit u'riotem oto u'tzkart kemetz kol mitzvot Adonai v'yasetem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavehem v'acharei eneihem asher etem zanim achareihem Leman diskru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai v'ditem kedoshim le'rolechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher otzetzi et her mi'eretz Mitzrayim v'yot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Thank you. Karen, would you do an English reading for us, please, in the middle of 205? Thank you.
205. We affirm the truth that He is our God, that there is no other, and that we are His people Israel. He redeems us from the power of kings, delivers us from the hand of all tyrants. He brings judgment upon our oppressors, retribution upon all our mortal enemies. He performs wonders beyond understanding, marvels beyond all reckoning. He has maintained us among the living. He has not allowed our steps to falter. He guided us to triumph over mighty foes, exalted our strength over all our enemies. He vindicated us with miracles before Pharaoh, with signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. In wrath, he smote all of Egypt's firstborn, bringing his people to lasting freedom. He led his children through divided waters as their pursuers sank in the sea. When his children beheld his might, they sang in praise of him, gladly accepting his sovereignty. Moses and the people of Israel sang with great joy to the Lord.
Umalchuto beratzon kiblu alechem. Moshe uvnei Yisrael lachanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yimru kulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nera b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh pehelem. Malhutecha rahu v'necha. Bokeh ayam lifnei Moshe, Ze'eli anu v'yamaru, Adonai yimod le'olam va'ed. V'nehemar, kifada Adonai et Yaakov, u'ga'alo mi'ad hazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
Amen. Karen, at the top of 207, please. You're muted, Karen. We can't hear you. Excellent.
Help us, our Father, to lie down in peace and awaken us to life again, our King. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. You, O God, guard us and deliver us. You are a gracious and merciful King. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace, now and always. Praise to you, Lord, eternal guardian of your people Israel.
Ushmor tzeitenu uvainu l'chaim l'shalom mi'ata v'yad olam, Baruch ata Adonai,
Shemo.
Shomer amo Yisrael la'ad.
We're in the middle of
Amen v'amen. Baruch Adonai ba'yom, Baruch Adonai ba'layla. Yiru einenu shemach libenu. Ki hamalchut shelcha hi omei timlok b'kavod, ki ein lanu melech ela ata Baruch ata Adonai.
Shemo.
Hamelech b'kvodo tamidat yimlok aleinu le'olam va'ed, v'yakol ma'asa.
We rise, Chatzi Kaddish 208.
Yikadav yikadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Yama divrach yiratevi amlik malchute v'hayehon v'yomekon v'chayda kol beit Yisrael v'galav zman kol riv v'yimru amen. Yishmei rabba mevorach v'yolam alo me'omaya yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudishah Elah min kol berchata v'shirata tishberchata v'nehlamata damiran b'yalma v'yamru amen.
The Amidah begins on pages 210 through 220. We speak to God directly in silence.
Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'himeru amen. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'himeru amen.
Kaddish Shalem, page 222.
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yom divrach Yidotei v'yamlik malchutei v'hayechon v'yomechon v'chayirachol beit Yisrael v'agala b'zman kofri v'yimeru.
Amen.
Yeishnei Rabbah nevora v'yolam olam yamaya. Barak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha v'yichu ve'elad min kol b'chata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'aniran b'yoma v'yimeru.
Amen.
Tikabel tzlot hon v'chon v'chol Yisrael ka'adama v'hondi b'shemaya v'yimeru.
Amen.
Amen. Yehei shlomo rabbi min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru.
Amen.
Amen. Ose shalom bimroma, huya ase shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru.
Amen.
We turn to page 236 for the counting of the Omer. The Torah tells us that on the second day of Pesach, we are beginning to count the Omer. And 50 days later, we bring wheat, which is made into chametz bread, not offered on the altar, as a reminder of our origins and the domestication of grain, barley, and then wheat. Chazan Lichterman, are you prepared to lead us in the Omer? No? Okay. Please turn to page 237. We'll recite the English paragraph, followed by the bracha. And last night we counted 18. You'll see in a Siddur that Israel's Independence Day is number 20, but because it's on Shabbat, we moved it 2 days back, not to be Chalel Shabbat, desecrating Shabbat, because of the joy of Yom HaAtzmaut, independence. Together on 237, I'm ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer as it is ordained in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the second day of Pesach, and an Omer of grain is to be brought as an offering. 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom tish'a asar yom, shehem shnei shavuot, v'chamisha yamim la'omer. Today is 19 days, which are 2 weeks and 5 days to the Omer. And if you look on the other page, 50 Yar, Israel's Independence Day, is indeed correct because Shabbat is the 5th of Iyar, and we don't have certain festivities on Shabbat, and so it's pushed back 2 days to retain the holiness of Shabbat. Aleinu 224, please.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adam ha'kol, ha'teit gedula liotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lichnei Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noten Shamayim v'Yosei Haaretz, U'Moshav Yikaro b'Shamayim Mima'al, U'Shechin Aruzo, V'Gadei Meromim, U'Eloheinu Enod, Emet Malkeinu Epezulato, Kakatu betorato, וידעת היום וישבעת אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמנו, והארץ מתחת אין עוד אלוקים. כי המלכות שלך כי עולמי תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד,
Chazan Lichterman, what is your grandfather's name, please?
It's Yitzchak Meir.
And his family name?
It's Lichterman.
Lichterman. Did he have a Polish name?
That's a very, very good question to which I don't actually know the answer.
Will
But
be
it's Yitzchak Meir ben Shlomo Zalman Halevi.
Okay, we'll remember that for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll join you then.
Zalman Halevi. We recall with love those who gave us life and shared life with us, whose yahrzeit is Erev Shabbat, the 4th of Iyar, April 16th, 2021. The following names are listed in our perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno and are inscribed in our hearts and souls. Lillian Kaplan, Alex Cooper, Dr. Lewis Eli Kane, Samuel Morris, Kate Rosen, Sarah Weinberg. We also recall Eunice Bruton, Dr. Morris Shapiro, and Yitzchak Meir Lichterman of blessed memory. Yahrzeit and Mourners Kaddish, page 226. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon u'v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari ve'imo amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevurach, ve'olam lo ve'amaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדושה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה לאמירם בעלמה ועמו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו amen. Before we leave, Chazan Lichterman gets a mazel tov from all of us.
Thank you.
Share with us about why the mazel tov.
Well, I think Sandy beat you to it, but we just celebrated the birth of a granddaughter on second day Pesach.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. And Ka'ain Ein Hara, all well.
Beautiful. What is her name?
Her name is Michaela Jade. You don't even want to ask.
That's the gift of the Afikomen stolen, I'm sure. You've done well. You've done very well. Chazan, it's an honor and a thrill to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lovely to see everybody as well. And we'll see you in the morning.
Please God, at 7:30 to all of you. Have a lovely evening and celebrate as much as you can. The state of Israel deserves all the joy we can get.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.